It's mine to control.
12 insane games that make you the boss explored. Ready to flip the script on gaming? Let's dive into a world where you're not the shining knight or the plucky adventurer. You're the monster. In our playful journey through 10 games where you play as a monster, we're trading in our hero's cape for some delightfully monstrous claws. Imagine romping around as the creature that usually gives gamers the heebie-jeebies. It's a wild ride from start to finish, filled with unexpected twists and turns. Each game on our list is a unique beast, pun intended. We're not just smashing stuff up, though there's plenty of that too. We're experiencing stories that give a whole new meaning to the term Monster Mash. From quirky puzzles to epic showdowns, these games put you in the, tentacles of some of the most memorable monsters in gaming. So let's unleash our inner monster and dive into the top 10 games that let you walk, stomp, or slither on the wild side. Are you ready to roar? Let's go. But before that, if you haven't subscribed to us, please do. It helps a lot. Kion 2020, available on PC, Switch, PS4, and Xbox SX. Kion is a game that does a 180 on the traditional horror genre script, casting you as the monstrous entity at the heart of a spine-chilling narrative. The game's approach to horror is empowering. Rather than creeping around corners in fear, you are the hunter, spreading terror and devastation through an underground laboratory. This role reversal is central to Kion's appeal, offering a refreshing take on the horror theme. You play as a gooey red monster that brings a unique and visceral experience. The movement is fluid and satisfying, with the monster's appendages latching onto surfaces, creating a sense of chaotic yet controlled traversal. This ease of movement allows players to fully immerse in the game's aesthetics, especially in actions like squeezing through narrow ducts or transforming into a swarm of parasitic worms. Combat in Kion is dynamic and tightly linked to the monster's size, which changes as you consume humans or take damage. The game offers a variety of abilities tied to different sizes, from causing devastating damage as a large creature to using stealth and stun attacks in smaller forms. This system keeps combat engaging, requiring players to adapt their strategy based on their current size and the abilities available to them. Puzzle solving is another integral aspect of Kion, where your abilities are used in creative ways. The puzzles often require specific abilities to solve, adding a layer of strategic planning to the gameplay. This can sometimes lead to backtracking through levels to change your size and access different abilities, which can be both a challenging and rewarding experience. The game's overarching hub world, linking the different levels, can be somewhat cumbersome to navigate due to the lack of a map and one-way paths. This can lead to frustration, especially when trying to locate previously locked routes or backtracking to previous stages. Enemy design in Kion is varied, offering a significant challenge to your monstrous capability. Armed enemies with handguns, flamethrowers, and mechs pose a real threat, requiring strategic planning and careful execution of attacks. This adds depth to the combat, encouraging players to use the environment and their abilities creatively to overcome challenges. However, the game's control scheme can sometimes be a hindrance, especially in fast-paced combat scenarios where precise control over your appendages is needed. This can detract from the satisfaction of executing well-planned attacks. Additionally, flashback sequences where you play as a human scientist disrupt the pacing and don't add much to the story, feeling less engaging compared to the monster gameplay. Overall, Kion excels when it allows players to fully embrace the reverse horror fantasy, balancing gory combat with clever problem solving. Despite some issues with control precision and pacing, it offers a unique and engaging experience as a monstrous protagonist, delivering a fresh perspective on horror and empowerment. Rampage World Tour 1997, PC, Switch, PS4, and Xbox SX. Rampage World Tour is a game that thrives on the simple joy of destruction. You play as one of 3 monsters: George the Giant Ape, Ralph the Werewolf, or Lizzie the Giant Lizard, rampaging through cities worldwide. The game's appeal lies in its straightforward objective: demolish everything. This involves climbing buildings, punching them down, and dealing with various city defenses like helicopters, planes, and ground forces. Despite the enjoyable chaos, the game's repetitive nature and lack of story depth become apparent quickly. The repetitive gameplay, unchanged graphics, and lack of voice chat in online play detract from the experience. The game's visuals and sound effects, while colorful and decent, also become monotonous over time. From a broader perspective, Rampage World Tour taps into the primal joy of destruction. It's a game that connects with the innate desire to wreak havoc, albeit in a virtual setting. The simplicity of its design, just pressing buttons to punch and eat, makes it accessible and fun for casual play. However, this simplicity also leads to its biggest drawback. The gameplay becomes tedious, and the excitement wears off after a while. It's more of a game to enjoy occasionally rather than one to invest many hours in. Despite its flaws, Rampage World Tour provides a cathartic outlet for frustration, offering a safe way to indulge in animated destruction. If you really want to have fun with this game, get a friend to play locally with you, and it will blow your mind. By the way, do you guys remember the creature feature called Rampage that had Rock as the main protagonist?
Changes will be incredibly unpredictable.
Even though the movie didn't do well with the critics, who believe every film has to be Schindler's List or Godfather, you will enjoy it a lot. Splatterhouse. It's an arcade classic from the late 1980s and is a game that deftly combines the thrill of a beat-em-up with the eerie atmosphere of a horror movie. This review delves into how Splatterhouse not only entertains, but also invites players to explore the concept of becoming a monster, both literally and metaphorically. At the heart of Splatterhouse is its protagonist, Rick, a character who undergoes a dramatic transformation. Donning the terror mask, Rick morphs from a typical college student into a hulking brute, a visual metaphor for unleashing one's inner demons. This transformation is central to the game's appeal, offering a power fantasy that's tinged with horror. The gameplay in Splatterhouse is straightforward yet satisfyingly brutal. As Rick, players smash through hordes of grotesque creatures in a side-scrolling rampage. Each level is designed not just as a stage for combat, but as a descent into a nightmarish world. The mansion, with its gothic architecture and dimly lit corridors, becomes a character in itself, representing the mind's dark recesses where fear and aggression reside. The game's art style and sound design are pivotal in crafting its unique atmosphere. The graphics, with their bold use of color and grotesque character designs, push the envelope of what was visually acceptable in video games at the time. The soundtrack, a mix of haunting melodies and jarring sound effects, complements the visuals, immersing players in a genuinely unsettling experience. Culturally, Splatterhouse reflects the era's fascination with horror and the supernatural. It draws inspiration from slasher films and Lovecraftian horror, blending these influences into a unique video game experience. The game's exploration of transformation and the duality of human nature resonates with themes prevalent in horror literature and cinema. Moreover, Splatterhouse can be seen as a precursor to the anti-hero trend in modern media. Rick, with his monstrous appearance and violent methods, challenges traditional notions of heroism. This aspect of the game invites players to ponder deeper questions about morality and identity. What does it mean to be a monster? Is there a monster lurking within each of us, waiting to be unleashed? In conclusion, Splatterhouse stands out as a seminal arcade game that transcends its beat-em-up mechanics to offer a deeper, more introspective experience. It's a game that not only entertains but also provokes thought about the nature of monstrosity, both in the fantastical and psychological sense. With its unique blend of horror and action, Splatterhouse remains a memorable and influential title in the world of video games. Bloody Roar 2 a standout title in the fighting game genre, offers a unique experience that transcends traditional combat mechanics by allowing players to embrace their inner beast. This review explores how Bloody Roar 2 masterfully integrates the theme of monstrous transformation into its gameplay and narrative, creating an experience that is as thrilling as it is introspective. At its core, Bloody Roar is a game about duality, the human and the beast. Each character in the roster possesses the ability to transform into a powerful animalistic form, a mechanic that is not just visually spectacular but also deeply symbolic. These transformations are more than mere aesthetic changes. They represent the unleashing of suppressed instincts and hidden powers, a theme that resonates with the human condition's darker aspects. The gameplay of Bloody Roar 2 is fast-paced and fluid, with a focus on combo-heavy attacks and strategic use of the beast form. Transforming during a fight adds a layer of depth to the combat, allowing for more powerful attacks and unique abilities. This mechanic is not just a twist on the fighting genre, but a narrative device that illustrates the character's struggle with their dual nature. The narrative of Bloody Roar 2, though not as prominent as in other genres, is skillfully woven into its gameplay. Each character's backstory explores themes of identity, power, and control, with their beast form often serving as a metaphor for personal struggles and inner demons. The game's story mode offers glimpses into these narratives, adding context to the battles and making the characters more than just fighters. Visually, Bloody Roar 2 is a spectacle. The character designs, both in human and beast form, are detailed and imaginative, reflecting the game's creative approach to the concept of transformation. The animations during the transformations are particularly noteworthy, seamlessly blending the human and animal aspects of the characters. The sound design complements the visual spectacle, with each transformation accompanied by a distinct and powerful audio cue. The game's soundtrack, with its energetic and pulsating rhythms, adds to the intensity of the fights, enhancing the overall experience. In conclusion, Bloody Roar 2 stands as a unique and innovative title in the fighting game genre. It offers not just a compelling combat experience, but also a deeper exploration of the concept of transformation and duality. The game's ability to let players experience the thrill of becoming a monster, both in a literal and metaphorical sense, makes it a memorable and impactful title that continues to resonate with fans of the genre. Alien vs. Predator, released in 2010, is a game that masterfully captures the essence of two iconic sci-fi horror franchises. This review explores how the game allows players to embody the monstrous, offering a unique perspective into the worlds of these terrifying creatures. The game is structured around three distinct campaigns: Marine, Alien, and Predator, each offering a unique perspective on the same overarching narrative. This structure is not just a gameplay mechanic, but a narrative device that allows players to experience the story from different angles, each revealing different facets of the game's dark world. Playing as an alien, the game offers a visceral and primal experience. The gameplay is fast, stealthy, and brutal, capturing the essence of what it feels like to be this iconic monster. The alien's perspective is low to the ground, creating a sense of otherworldliness and disorientation that is both thrilling and disconcerting. The ability to crawl on walls and ceilings, coupled with the alien's savage melee attacks, immerses players in the role of a relentless hunter. The Predator campaign offers a stark contrast to the aliens. Here, players embody a technologically advanced hunter equipped with an array of iconic weapons and gadgets. The gameplay focuses on strategy and stealth, with players using the Predator's cloaking device and thermal vision to stalk their prey. The sense of power and control in this campaign is palpable, capturing the Predator's essence as a master of the hunt. The Marine campaign, while more traditional in its first-person shooter mechanics, adds a crucial human perspective to the narrative. It grounds the story, providing context and emotional weight to the conflict between the alien and predator species. The fear and vulnerability experienced in the Marine campaign serve as a reminder of the monstrous nature of the game's other playable characters. Visually, Alien versus Predator is a triumph. The game captures the dark, oppressive atmosphere of the Alien and Predator universes, with detailed environments that range from claustrophobic corridors to dense jungles. The character models for the aliens and predators are meticulously crafted, staying true to the source material while adding a level of detail that enhances the immersion. The sound design further adds to the atmosphere. With the hissing of the aliens and the clicking of the predators, creating an audio landscape that is both eerie and familiar to fans of the franchises. In conclusion, Alien vs. Predator is a game that excels in letting players experience the monstrous. Whether skulking in the shadows as an alien, hunting with high-tech gear as a predator, or surviving the horror as a marine, the game offers a rich, immersive experience that captures the essence of these iconic creatures. It stands as a testament to the enduring appeal of the Alien and Predator franchises and their ability to terrify and fascinate in equal measure. Altered Beast for the PlayStation 2, a modern iteration of the classic arcade game, offers a unique blend of action and transformation that allows players to delve into the realm of the monstrous. This review examines how the game captures the essence of becoming a beast, both in gameplay and narrative. The game's protagonist, Luke Custer, is a genome cyborg, a human whose DNA has been altered to transform him into various anthropomorphic beasts. This premise sets the stage for a game that is as much about identity and transformation as it is about action and combat. The ability to shift forms is not just a gameplay mechanic, but a narrative device that explores themes of power, control, and the primal nature within. The gameplay in Altered Beast is centered around this transformative ability. Players can morph into different beasts, each with unique abilities and combat styles. This mechanic adds a strategic layer to the game, as players must choose the right form to overcome specific challenges and enemies. The transformations are visually striking, with detailed animations that highlight the contrast between Luke's human and beast forms. The narrative of Altered Beast is a departure from the original game's ancient Greek setting, taking place in modern times. This shift adds a fresh perspective to the story, blending science fiction elements with the mythological roots of the franchise. The story of Luke Custer, grappling with his newfound abilities and the moral implications of his transformations, adds depth to the gameplay experience. Visually, the game captures the dark and brooding atmosphere of its narrative. The environments are detailed and varied, ranging from urban landscapes to eerie natural settings. The character designs, especially the beast forms, are imaginative and align well with the game's overall tone. The sound design complements the visual elements, with a soundtrack that enhances the game's mood and intensity. The audio cues during transformations and combat add to the immersive experience, making each encounter feel impactful. Altered Beast for the PlayStation 2 is a game that successfully captures the allure and horror of transformation. It offers players a chance to explore the power and consequences of unleashing the beast within, wrapped in an action-packed gameplay experience. The game stands as a testament to the enduring appeal of the Altered Beast franchise, offering a modern take on its classic formula.
Come and get it.
The Darkness 2, released in 2012, is a game that delves deep into the psyche of its protagonist, Jackie Estacado, and offers players a unique opportunity to embrace their inner monsters. This review will explore how The Darkness 2 allows players to experience the transformation into a creature of the night, blending narrative depth with intense gameplay. The game picks up years after the events of the original, with Jackie now the head of the Franchetti crime family. Despite his power, he struggles with the internal conflict of controlling the darkness, a malevolent force that grants him extraordinary powers. The game's narrative is a journey through Jackie's psyche, exploring themes of love, loss, and the seductive nature of power. Gameplay in The Darkness 2 is a blend of first-person shooter mechanics and supernatural abilities. The Darkness powers allow Jackie to summon demonic arms, create black holes, and unleash a variety of otherworldly attacks. This mechanic is not just a tool for combat, but a narrative element that represents Jackie's struggle with his darker side. The game's visual style is a standout feature, employing a graphic novel aesthetic that perfectly complements the story's dark themes. The cel-shaded graphics give the game a unique look, blurring the lines between comic books and video games. This style enhances the narrative, making Jackie's world feel both grounded and otherworldly. The voice acting and sound design in The Darkness 2 are exceptional, adding depth to the characters and the world. The voice of The Darkness is particularly noteworthy, providing a chilling and constant reminder of the power that Jackie wields. The game's soundtrack further enhances the atmosphere with a mix of haunting melodies and intense action scores.
The Siphon!
One of the most compelling aspects of The Darkness 2 is its exploration of the concept of power and its corrupting influence. As players delve deeper into the game, they witness Jackie's transformation, not just in terms of his abilities, but also in his moral compass. The game challenges players to consider the cost of power and the nature of the beast within. In conclusion, The Darkness 2 is a game that masterfully combines narrative and gameplay to offer a unique experience. It allows players to explore the darker aspects of human nature wrapped in a story of love, loss, and revenge. The game's blend of intense action, deep narrative, and unique visual style makes it a standout title in the genre and a compelling exploration of what it means to embrace the darkness within. The Incredible Hulk, released in 2008, is a game that allows players to step into the shoes of one of Marvel's most iconic characters, the Hulk. This review will explore how the game captures the essence of becoming a monstrous superhero, blending elements of action, destruction, and the internal struggle of Bruce Banner. The game is set in an open-world environment, giving players the freedom to explore and interact with the city as the Hulk. This open-world design is crucial to the game's appeal, allowing for a sense of scale and power that is synonymous with the Hulk character. Players can leap across buildings, smash through obstacles, and engage in epic battles, truly feeling like a force of nature. The gameplay mechanics are centered around destruction and combat. The Hulk's abilities are satisfyingly powerful, with players able to execute a variety of moves and combos that showcase his superhuman strength. The game does an excellent job of making players feel invincible, yet it also introduces challenges and enemies that require strategy and skill to overcome. Narratively, the game ties in with the 2008 Hulk movie, featuring key characters and plot points from the film. However, it expands on the movie's storyline, offering a deeper dive into Bruce Banner's struggle with his alter ego. The narrative explores themes of control, anger, and the burden of power, adding depth to the Hulk's character beyond the mindless destruction. Visually, The Incredible Hulk is impressive, especially considering its release era. The game captures the comic book aesthetic with vibrant colors and detailed character models. The animation of the Hulk is particularly noteworthy as it conveys both his immense power and the fluidity of his movements. The sound design adds to the immersive experience, with the Hulk's roars and the sounds of destruction being particularly impactful. The voice acting is solid, with performances that bring the characters to life and enhance the narrative. One of the game's standout features is its progression system.
Destroy all of it.
You must be joking.
You don't know the power of what we're dealing with here.
As players complete missions and engage in battles, the Hulk becomes stronger, unlocking new abilities and moves. This system not only adds a sense of progression, but also ties into the game's theme of embracing and controlling one's inner monster. The Incredible Hulk 2008 is a game that successfully captures the essence of its titular character. It offers players a chance to experience the power and chaos of being the Hulk, wrapped in a story that explores the complexities of Bruce Banner's dual existence. The game's blend of open-world exploration, destructive gameplay, and narrative depth makes it a memorable experience for fans of the character and the superhero genre. Maneater 2020 offers a unique and thrilling perspective in the world of video games, that of a ferocious shark. This review delves into how Maneater allows players to embody the ultimate aquatic predator, blending elements of action, RPG mechanics, and a darkly humorous narrative. The game's central premise is simple yet captivating. You start as a small bull shark pup and must survive in the harsh aquatic world, growing and evolving into a massive apex predator. This journey from vulnerability to power is not just a gameplay progression, but a narrative device that explores themes of survival, revenge, and the natural order. Maneater's gameplay is a mix of open-world exploration and RPG elements. The world is your ocean, filled with diverse environments like swamps, open seas, and human-infested waters. As you explore, you encounter various wildlife and human threats, each presenting unique challenges and opportunities for growth. The RPG mechanics come into play as you evolve your shark, gaining new abilities and adaptations that change your playstyle and strategy. The combat in Maneater is visceral and satisfying. As a shark, you have a range of attacks, from powerful bites to tail whips, allowing for varied and dynamic combat encounters. The game does an excellent job of making you feel like a true predator, with the ability to stealthily hunt or engage in frenzied feeding frenzies. Visually, Maneater is impressive. The underwater environments are beautifully rendered, with a great attention to detail that brings the aquatic world to life. The design of the shark itself is noteworthy, with realistic animations and a sense of weight and power in its movements. The narrative of Maneater is delivered with a dark sense of humor. The story is narrated in the style of a wildlife documentary, with a narrator commenting on your actions and the world around you. This approach adds a layer of satire to the game, poking fun at both nature documentaries and human perceptions of sharks.
The Fawtick Bayou area has lost 63 acres of marshland due to saltwater intrusion.
The sound design in Maneater enhances the overall experience. The sounds of the ocean, the wildlife, and the chaos of combat all contribute to an immersive aquatic world. The narrator's voice adds to the game's unique tone, providing both information and entertainment. To conclude this, we would say Maneater is a game that stands out for its unique premise and execution. It offers players a chance to experience life as a shark, wrapped in a gameplay experience that is both fun and thought-provoking. The blend of open-world exploration, RPG elements, and a humorous narrative makes Maneater a must-play for those looking for something different in the gaming landscape.
You're right, Doctor. I can't see.
Vampire, released in 2018, is a game that immerses players in the dark and brooding world of a newly turned vampire in post-World War I London. This review will explore how Vampire allows players to experience the transformation into a creature of the night, blending elements of role-playing, moral decision-making, and a deeply atmospheric narrative. The game places you in the role of Dr. Jonathan Reed, a respected physician who finds himself turned into a vampire, thrust into a world of supernatural politics and moral dilemmas. The narrative is a compelling exploration of Reed's struggle with his new vampiric nature, set against the backdrop of a flu-ravaged London. The story delves into themes of morality, the value of human life, and the burden of immortality. The gameplay in Vampire is a mix of action RPG combat and narrative-driven exploration. As Reed, players navigate the fog-laden streets of London, interacting with a host of well-developed characters, each with their own stories and secrets. The game's unique mechanic involves choosing whether to feed on these characters, gaining strength but impacting the narrative and the world around you. The combat system allows players to use a variety of vampiric abilities, from mesmerizing victims to unleashing devastating blood-based attacks. The RPG elements come into play as you develop Reed's abilities, choosing paths that align with your playstyle and moral choices. This system adds depth to the gameplay, as each decision not only affects Reed's power, but also the fate of London's citizens. Visually, Vampire captures the eerie and oppressive atmosphere of its setting. The game's art direction successfully conveys a sense of decay and despair, with dimly lit streets and a color palette that evokes the feeling of a world consumed by disease and darkness. The character designs are detailed, and the animations, especially during combat, are fluid and impactful. The sound design in Vampire is another standout feature. The haunting soundtrack and ambient sounds of the city add to the game's immersive experience. The voice acting is top-notch, with each character bringing a sense of authenticity to the story.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'm new here.
One of the most intriguing aspects of Vampire is its moral complexity. The game forces players to weigh the consequences of their actions, blurring the lines between hero and monster. This moral ambiguity is a central theme, challenging players to consider what it means to be a vampire, both as a predator and as a being, grappling with the remnants of their humanity. Vampire is a game that masterfully combines narrative depth, RPG mechanics, and a darkly atmospheric world. It offers players a unique experience of stepping into the shoes of a vampire, wrapped in a story that is both engaging and thought-provoking. The blend of action, exploration, and moral decision-making makes Vampire a standout title for those seeking a deep and immersive role-playing experience. Evolve, a game that debuted in 2015, offers a unique multiplayer experience where players can embody both hunters and the hunted, a monstrous entity. This review delves into how Evolve allows players to experience the thrill of becoming a formidable monster, blending elements of strategy, teamwork, and intense action. Set on the distant planet Sheer, Evolve pits 4 players against one monstrous player in a game of cat and mouse. The game's core appeal lies in this asymmetrical gameplay, where each side has distinct abilities and objectives. As a monster, players must evade hunters while consuming wildlife to evolve and become more powerful. This progression from vulnerability to overwhelming strength is a central theme, reflecting the game's title and core mechanics. The gameplay for monsters in Evolve is deeply strategic. Players must use the environment to their advantage, stealthily avoiding hunters while growing stronger. Each evolution stage unlocks new abilities and enhances existing ones, allowing for varied and dynamic combat encounters. The sense of power as a fully evolved monster is palpable, offering a unique perspective compared to traditional multiplayer games. Visually, Evolve is striking, with detailed environments and character models. The design of the monsters is particularly noteworthy, each with its unique aesthetic and abilities. The game's graphics bring the world of Sheer to life, enhancing the immersive experience of the hunt. The sound design in Evolve adds to the tension and atmosphere. The distant roars of the monster, the environmental sounds, and the communication among hunters all contribute to a rich audio experience. The game's soundtrack further amplifies the suspense and excitement of the gameplay. As of 2023, it's important to note that the game's developer, Turtle Rock Studios, and publisher, 2K Games, have ceased active development and support for Evolve. This means no new content or significant updates are being released. However, the game's legacy version, Evolve Stage 2, can still be played, offering the original experience to players. Evolve stands out for its innovative asymmetrical gameplay and the thrilling experience of playing as a monster. While the game has seen its development cycle come to an end, its unique concept and execution continue to offer a compelling experience for those seeking a different kind of multiplayer game. The blend of strategy, teamwork, and the primal thrill of the hunt makes Evolve a memorable title in the multiplayer genre. Werewolf, the Apocalypse Earthblood, a game that immerses players in the dark and mystical world of werewolves, offers a unique experience of becoming a powerful lycanthrope. This review will explore how the game allows players to embrace their inner beast, blending elements of action, stealth, and a narrative deeply rooted in environmental themes. Set in the rich universe of the World of Darkness, the game follows the story of Cahal, an eco-terrorist werewolf who fights against the corrupt corporation Endrin. The narrative is a compelling blend of supernatural lore and environmental activism, exploring themes of nature versus industrialization and the struggle of maintaining one's humanity amidst primal instincts. Gameplay in Werewolf: The Apocalypse. Earthblood is divided between human, wolf, and werewolf forms, each with its unique abilities and purposes. As a human, Cahal can interact with other characters and manipulate technology. In wolf form, he becomes stealthy, perfect for infiltration and exploration. The werewolf form, however, is where the game truly shines. In this form, Cahal becomes a formidable combatant, capable of devastating melee attacks and powerful moves. The combat system is visceral and satisfying, with a focus on melee brawls that feel brutal and impactful. The ability to switch between forms adds a strategic layer to encounters, as players must decide the best approach for each situation. The RPG elements come into play as players upgrade Cahal's abilities, tailoring his powers to their playstyle. Visually, the game captures the eerie and mystical atmosphere of its setting. The transformation animations are particularly impressive, showcasing the violent beauty of Cahal's metamorphosis. The environments, from dense forests to industrial complexes, are well designed, adding to the game's immersive experience. The sound design in Werewolf: The Apocalypse. Earthblood enhances the gameplay, with the growls and howls of the werewolf form being particularly noteworthy. The voice acting and soundtrack also contribute to the game's dark and atmospheric tone. As of 2023, it's important to note that the game's developer, Cyanide Studio, and publisher, Kion, have not announced any new content or significant updates for Werewolf: The Apocalypse. Earthblood. While the game stands as a complete experience, players should not expect additional content or expansions. Werewolf: The Apocalypse. Earthblood offers a unique and engaging experience for players looking to explore the world of werewolves. The blend of action, stealth, and narrative depth, along with the environmental themes, makes it a standout title for fans of the supernatural and action genres. The game successfully captures the essence of being a werewolf, balancing the struggle between human and beast.